most iconic location and perhaps even more impressive, clad in the home team blue at night. Welcome to the Rose Bowl, home to the UCLA Bruins. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Washington Huskies, taking on a fellow Big Ten foe, the UCLA Bruins. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Bruins will boot it away to start the game. He'll bring it out. It's Washington. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Washington's offense will take the field first. And David, this offense is built around keeping it on the ground and feeding the beast at running back.
Yeah, and he is a grown ace man. That dude, it starts and ends with him. Jesse, how nice is it to have a running back that you can turn, hand the ball to? He's going to get positive chunks. Defenses fear him. That's a really nice place to start on offense.
And it doesn't matter how many guys they have in the box, right? Every single week, defense is key on stopping this guy, and none of them can do it. He is so dynamic, a true game changer for this offense.
That's a way to give yourself some breathing room. Now the second play of the drive from the 36. He'll pull it on the read. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football. That time on the option play, I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
That's a really good-looking run, too. And when you think back to Washington football, we talk a lot about the quarterbacks they've had, these great aerial assaults, but they've always needed to have balance as well. You get that by running the football, and this guy really helps keep defenses honest because they don't know what's coming at them. With a weapon like him in the backfield, he really makes this offense go.
They're going to ride this running back. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Williams will pass. Got his man quickly. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Washington coming to the line with another first down. Fires to the big fella. And an absolutely fearless tackle, giving up size, still got him on the turf.
Now watch the offensive line here. They all block and run. Because they're blocking run, the quarterback decides, oh, I got a favorable matchup. He dumps it out to the right, makes the right read, gets a nice positive gain.
The Huskies in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Looking to fire. Caught close to the marker, it's Coleman. He gets just inside the red zone and goes out of bounds at the 19.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
Run in the red zone, it's Coleman. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The crowd getting behind this defense as they try to get a stop in the red zone. Second down, they'll go to the air. Quickly complete. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies.
Well, you know this offensive coordinator scripts his opening 10, 15 plays, and he didn't even need that. They went 9 plays and scored a touchdown. Everything working perfectly. They look like a well-oiled machine early in this game offensively.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So an 82-yard drive there. And the capper, a 19-yard toss for the touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So UCLA's offense has the ball for the first time. Guys, if you listen closely, I think you can hear the jawing going already between this quarterback and wide receiver. What a matchup, Jesse, it's going to be between those two.
You know, so many people have already been talking about this individual one-on-one matchup, David, and it's going to be happening out on an island all game long. The receiver's got speed, he's got game-breaking ability, catching the football, can climb the ladder. He's going up against one of the best shutdown corners in the game. I cannot wait to watch this.
Yeah, and he's got the speed to stay with him and the instincts, and he's been so great out wide in every game. This is a huge test. This is a Sunday test. 2 NFL guys going at it to see who's going to take home the prize.
It doesn't matter what run play you have called, if you're running it inside or outside. If the defense gets penetration, everything is done. And you saw it on that play right there. Great job by the D.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. From the shotgun, the inside give. There he goes. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
Looking to pass. It's Iamaleava. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
And that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
They're dealing with a second and long. Trying play action. Grabbed in the middle. It's Thomas. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
Wants to throw on third down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
Well, on third and short and field goal range, they dial up the pass play. Quarterback was trying to get through his progressions. There was just simply nobody open. Couldn't make an accurate enough throw. Ball falls incomplete. Now setting up a big decision here on fourth down.
Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. From 55 yards out, and he's got it. Never a doubt.
Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg. 50-plus, and he did it with ease.
So after the made field goal, they'll kick it away and rely on their defense. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. On the move, he fires. Wide open downfield. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. Productive pass offense for the Huskies, and they've had a long line of quarterbacks who've gone on to the pros.
Yeah, a lot of guys that you can think of. Warren Moon obviously was so dynamic, so good, but guys that were surgical, guys that read the defenses, made the decisions, made big plays. That's what the Husky fans want to see.
Give to the running back. Powers through the defender. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Huskies can really attack on this second and short. Holds and fires complete to the right. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
Gain of 6. And first down for the offense.
Washington has it and a fresh set of downs. They'll try the run. Plows through the defense.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
They'll run the option. Quick toss. Jukes his way for more. They'll finally make the tackle, but that option was executed to perfection. That's the end of the quarter, and Washington has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. First play of the period, first down here. Williams looking for a man. Throws to the wideout. He's got an open man. Touchdown, Washington. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
On to attempt the try.
Kicker is on for the extra point.
And the extra point makes it 14-3. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finish it up with the final 30 yards coming courtesy of that touchdown pass. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. Off the play fake on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go. On the ground, it's Thomas. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
You know, when you're running counter, those offensive linemen crashing down, they've got to be able to pin those interior D linemen. They couldn't get it done there. They gave up too much penetration, and that led to the tackle for loss.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Got it behind the line. It's Thomas. Steps out of bounds across the 25. They'll mark it at the 26, and a good pickup for this offense here.
You know good and well the quarterback wanted to push the ball down the field, wanted to throw for the first down, couldn't do it because the defense had taken it away. He did the right thing. Didn't turn it over, dumped it off to his running back. His running back got some positive yards, but guess what? Now it's decision time. It's 4th down.
They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had a much better field position this time around. Got it in the middle. It's Evans. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in route there.
They'll put in play from the 41 on 1st down. Quarterback on the keeper. Quarterback gets past the marker. Turning it on. He's brought down, but what a play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line.
This is an offense that can move the sticks in a whole lot of different ways. Now you're seeing it on the option here. Great job by the quarterback. Reading the defense, there's nobody there taking him, so he puts his foot in the ground, he gets upfield, and he's got really nice elusiveness once he's out in the open field. He shows you that on that explosive play, picking up the first.
Makes his man miss. And they'll get him on the ground at the 3-yard line.
This is one of the things that's hard about stopping the option. That wasn't a big gain, but you look up, and they're in 2nd and short, 2nd and medium. They put you behind the sticks consistently as a defense. This defense has to be aggressive, make sure they get to this quarterback, and make him make quick decisions.
They'll go to the ground. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
That's a backbreaker if you're the offensive coordinator, because on 1st down, you ran the ball, had a really nice gain. Short yardage situation, you just get completely blown up, and now you're having to probably dial up a throw on 3rd down. You need more consistency from the guys up front.
To the ground with the back. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Huskies. That touchdown puts them up by at least 2 scores. Too early to say it's over? Probably, but boy, it's starting to feel that way.
It might not be over, but you're in trouble, and you better find some answers really, really quickly. This team is putting everything together, and right now you got nothing going. Come on, give me something.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're on top by 18. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And he found his way to the end zone from the 7 to cap it. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. UCLA will go back to work on offense. They've got to find some answers on this drive, already down by 18 in the 2nd quarter. He's stuffed after picking up 1 to the 23.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the 1st half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
Not a lot of room, but found his way ahead for 2 out to the 26.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Finds his tight end. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35.
It's not a great feeling on defense, too. When you're blitzing, you're expecting to get a sack. You're expecting to get a hit on the quarterback. If the offensive line and running backs pick it up, because now you have one less guy in the back end trying to cover all these receivers and tight ends, and you know you're in trouble.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
Looking downfield, it's Iamaleava. Quickly out to the tight end. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
But the big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
And the Bruins lining up, just needing a few tough inches on 3rd down. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. The Bruins come to the line needing just inches for the first down. They'll run play action. Grab near the marker. It's Matthews. Couldn't ask for much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Caught in the backfield, it's Thomas.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play a wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Pucks it out of the air. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
And the Bruins are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Grab near the sticks. It's Matthews. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on 1st down.
Shotgun fundamentals are so key. He was like a shortstop, caught the shotgun snap, and right away rifled it out of his hands like he was turning two. That was beautiful.
This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving. It's first. Oh, he's got some space. He goes out of bounds right at the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous and you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
Dropping back, it's Iamaleava. Finds his big tight end. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And now a chance not only to cut into the lead, but play it just right, and maybe the other. He's going for the goal line, and he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, UCLA!
We needed that. They needed to punch the ball in the end zone. They needed to cut this to a 2-score game, and they needed some positive momentum. Something going well, something to point to at half to say, guys, we got a chance. That drive, they put it together. Nice job by this offense.
Ready to try the point after. And with the extra point, they draw closer. It's 21-10. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And it was capped off with the 8-yard run. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Fielded in the end zone, it's Coleman. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. The inside handoff. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Williams will pass. Got a little space. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, looks like we've had a compelling start to things there in Pasadena. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true three-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball. He is a problem, and I don't think this defense has the solution. And with that, let's send it back to the guys in college football heaven, the Rose Bowl.
Washington about to boot it deep to start things in the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. He's out of bounds at his own 16-yard line, and he just couldn't find the corner on that return. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Finds a spot in the middle.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
The Bruins can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Using his legs, it's Thomas. Can't get him to the ground. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
Well, you wonder if one of the adjustments they made at halftime, trailing in this game, was to try and get the ground game established, David, and they're off to a good start here.
Dang right. Stay patient. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to press. Just try to get scoring drives together. Don't abandon the run.
He'll do it himself. Breaks into the open. And how about that run? A huge gain and the slide at the end.
And that's what makes this offense so dynamic. It's his running ability, and I love them going option here. He's hoping the defense is going to give him a look that forces him to keep the football. And how about his ability in the open field, generating a massive explosive play on that option run?
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Fires to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. The modest gain on the completion really shows why you want to run the zone. Make them execute and rally to the ball.
100%. Zone eyes on the quarterback. I see him throw the football, break on it, go make tackles, live to fight another down.
Off the play fake. Fires to the wideout. He got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
You're probably not going to always live in man-to-man and put your safety, especially your free safety, on a wide receiver, on a guy with great speed, but really nice coverage, nice defense, nice job staying between the receiver and the quarterback and swatting that ball to the ground.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble.
It's a nice job by the receiver working past the sticks. Looked like it was going to be a first down by the offense, but how about the physical play knocking that ball loose?
And they'll send the field goal team back out for the second time tonight. He boomed it through, a 50-yard field goal showing off that powerful leg.
How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on fourth down so much easier. Just strut him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. Maybe picked up a couple. He's down at the 24.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Looking for a gap. It's Coleman. Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 27-yard line.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
The Huskies really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. Williams looking for a man. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up.
This game just feels so different than it did in the first half. After that incompletion, now setting up 4th down, they only have a 1-possession lead. Things were looking so much better earlier in the game. They're going to have to get it together throwing the football if they want to win this game.
They punt it away on 4th down. Hauls it in and looking upfield. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. UCLA will go back to work on offense. He'll keep it himself. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab. A big play. Gets it into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 44.
Really nice looking pass. When I think back to the history of UCLA quarterbacks, I think about guys carving up defenses in the Rose Bowl in the perfect weather conditions with the gorgeous San Gabriel Mountains as a backdrop. And this guy right here, man, he's lighting defenses up this season, throwing it too. And in this game, he seems like he's dialed in.
Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play.
Nice patience by the quarterback there. He had his receiver running a crossing route, but the QB knew it was zone coverage, so he's got to be careful and make sure that he hits him in a window, and he did that right there.
And the Bruins with the 1st and 10. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
The defense was dialed in. They knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't fooled by it. They weren't fooled by the read game at all. Played discipline, kept eyes on the quarterback, strung that along towards the sideline, and made the big tackle.
The Bruins now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. Back to pass. It's Iamaleava. It's picked off, and they ruined the drive with a turnover. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
A lot of quarterbacks have so much confidence that they can fit the ball in tight windows. How about the defensive player right here making an unbelievable interception, forcing the turnover, big play, big momentum swing.
And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. A rather unproductive series last time, 3 and out, and they'll try to do better this time around. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And this team needs more of that, man. This is a really close football game, and you've got to get these stops down the stretch and meet the physical challenge of this offense, and they do right there, man. And that's one step closer to getting this football back and maybe making this thing a football game.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Wants to go up top. And he was looking over the middle and couldn't make the connection. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The sure hands, it's Green. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
And, you know, if you're the receiver there, you just want to know where the sticks are. Maybe extend your route a little bit more so that you know you get the first down after making the catch. 4th and short now. Let's see what they do.
Washington sends out the punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. First snap of this drive will come from their own 32. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
I love the quick decision that QB made there on that RPO, knowing he wanted to get it out of his hands fast. He just needs to make a more accurate throw moving forward.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. From the gun, the running back looking for room. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Defense is about seeing it and pulling the trigger, and you could tell they pull the trigger so fast, get to the back, get him on the ground quickly.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Iamaleava. Here's a heat. There he goes. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
This has been a real fun game to call, guys, because we've got 2 quarterbacks that are getting it done on the ground. Both of these guys have had tremendous success. That time the defense wasn't in position. They weren't able to rally to him early enough, and you kind of get the feeling moving forward, whichever defense figures out the other running quarterback first, that's probably the team that wins.
And he drops it. Just took his eye off of it at the last minute.
You just got to have better concentration if you're the wide receiver. I know it feels like a routine completion. You still got to get 2 hands on the ball and look it in. That's a bad drop.
So now it's 2nd and long. The give to the tailback. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. We've reached the break. It's Washington holding the lead. And we've reached the end of the 3rd, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Breaks the tackle. He'll step out of bounds just short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49 after a good pickup on that play.
And they get the completion, and they get out of bounds, which is obviously important to stop the clock. But what's really important now is it's 4th down. And that made it more manageable. But obviously, the clock is not as important as making sure you get this 4th down conversion.
And they'll let that one go, and it'll roll out of bounds. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Still on his feet at the 40. Turning it on! And how much running room have they been able to find just all day? They are piling up unbelievable rushing stats.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly.
Love the awareness by the defense here. They're trying to get the running back the ball in space, but the defense was expecting it. They had guys in position, they located the football, and they went and gang tackled.
And the Huskies trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Off play action. Fires to the wideout. caught over the middle. It's Boston. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Grab behind the line. It's Coleman. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
Washington coming to the line with another 1st down. Now from inside the red zone. Fakes the grab on the left. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
Touchdown, Washington! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point splits the uprights, and the lead balloons to 15. They took it 71 yards down the field, and they finished things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. Back to pass. It's Iamaleava. Gets it to him on the screen. Oh, he's got some space. He'll go out of bounds at the 28-yard line, and deep in your own end, you need plays like that.
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the 4th quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Got it in the middle, it's Wilson. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few.
And defensively, this is exactly what you want, right? You got the big lead, so you can play big zone coverages. Just keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the quarterback. Rally to the football. Gang tackle. You're going to win this game.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. He'll pull it on the read. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's...
He'll off one deep down the left side. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And I love this defense understanding situational football. You got the lead in the 4th quarter, getting your nickel packages. You know the pass is coming, and the execution was great.
Yeah, they thrive on takeaways, and they love to get into games late with the lead because one of the strengths of their entire team is their secondary, and you saw it there. In nickel, they're able to come away with the pick, and it's looking like they're going to be able to seal this game.
And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
Clock continues to run, and they'll be happy to wind it all the way down before they snap it. The give to the back. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. The Huskies come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Williams will pass. Just a short pass to the tight end. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Boy, the defense really needed to get off the field there, and they just couldn't do it, and it's a fresh set of downs.
Man, that hurts. When you're trailing late in the ball game, you need those stops, and you get them to 3rd down. You get them to those critical points. Now they get the 1st down. You don't have many left, Jim.
It's a fumble on the play. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. He almost popped out of there for a huge return, but they will take it. They are in business after the fumble recovery.
It's a big mountain to climb, but the defense helping themselves out by getting that takeaway. They're going to need a few scores now, but you needed something positive to happen. You needed the momentum to shift, and I think the defense just did that by getting the takeaway.
UCLA will go back to work on offense. Last drive ended with an interception, and they can't afford to have that happen again. Trying to escape and get it himself. Ran through the tackle, and he's got room to run. Crosses the 35, out of bounds there. Nice pickup on the play, spotted at the 32.
And this offense has got to keep pumping it out. Nice job. You get the 1st down. Nice scramble by this QB, but you're going to put the ball in his hands over and over and over again. You got to score multiple times. This offense has got to be in hyperspeed.
To the air on 1st down. Fires to the big fella. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to throw. It's Iamaleava. Got his man. And he picks up the 1st down, and he doesn't. I'm not going to say spin move. That was a pirouette. It was elegant. It was beautiful. And the Bruins will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. And he throws another interception, his 3rd one of the night. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. .90 yards in front of them as they start the drive at their own 10. Going right to work up top. That's caught. It's Boston. Across the 20 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line, and just like that, they're out of trouble.
I'll be honest, man. If I had the weapons these guys had offensively, I'd be staying aggressive too. It's what got them to this point. It's why they have the lead here in the 4th quarter. Take some shots when those opportunities present themselves.
The give. Running into the open space. There he goes. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. And with the game all but decided, this quarterback will take a knee.